Namaste students. Today we are here with a new topic, that is statistics. Fine. You must be knowing that in junior classes we are doing data handling. You have seen this chapter in almost all the classes 8th, 7th, 6th, right? So this is somewhere related to that. So what do you mean by statistics? Actually, statistics is the branch of mathematics which deals with collection, or you can say classification and analysis of data which we have collected for some purpose. Fine. You must have seen in data handling we used to draw pie charts, bar graphs. So what do we are representing? Actually, we are representing the data. Fine. So let us discuss some basic terms. First of all, what is data? Any observation, any information collected for some purpose, that is called as data. Fine. It can be collected in two ways. First of all, it is primary or secondary. Now, if I have collected the data myself, suppose I conducted a test of 10 students, then I asked the marks from each student one by one and I noted it down. So that will become my primary data because I collected that data myself. Fine. Secondary data means I have taken the data from someone else. Suppose there was a unit test conducted, then I took the consolidated result from the computer department. So, but I have not collected that data, no. They have collected, they have maintained the record, I have collected from them. So I was not the first person to collect that data. So that will become secondary for me. Means someone else has collected but I have taken from them. Fine. So the difference is clear. Next, we can have presentation of data. Now what do we mean by presentation of data? That how can we present the data? You must have seen in junior classes this pie chart, bar graph, these all things we were doing, right? So these all will come under these categories. Now presentation of data can be, suppose let's say a test was conducted of maths for 5 students and they got, it was total of 10 marks and children have got the marks like 5, 8, 6, 9 and one more student has got 5 marks. Fine. So if I arrange the data in, actually presentation of data means like organizing it in some form so that one can use it properly. Suppose I arrange it in ascending order, 5, 5, 6, 8, 9. Now this thing is presentable because I have arranged in some form. Fine. So this was called as raw data because we have not arranged it. Simply collected and kept, that will be called as raw data. And when we arrange it in some order, that we can call it as presentation of data. So when I have arranged it, I can arrange in ascending or descending order. There one more term comes, range. What is range? Highest value minus the lowest one. Now highest here was 9 and lowest was 5. So the range of this data is 4. Clear? This was raw data. This was arranged in the form of ascending or descending order. Fine. Now if I talk about the second one, that is ungrouped frequency distribution. Now what is the meaning of this? Suppose I have collected the data for 10 children. I conducted the test of 10 marks. Let us write their marks. Suppose 2, 5, 6, 7, 2, again 9, 6, 8, 6, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fine. So this is the data for 10 students. Now this is raw data. If I want to convert it into ungrouped frequency distribution, now frequency word means when the same thing is repeated for how many times. So we used to draw a frequency distribution table. Fine. That how we draw. Suppose I write here marks and frequency. This can be done with the help of telemarks. Let us do that also. You must have done in previous class this thing, telemarks. And then we write frequency. Fine. Now let us note down the marks in ascending order. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Fine. Now let us see 2 has come. First one is 2. Let us keep cancelling. Then 5, then 6, then 7, then 2 again, 9, then 8, then 6 again, then 3 and 5. Fine. So 2 has come how many times? 2 times. So this will be frequency. Similarly 3 has come 1 time, 5 has come 2 times, 6 again 2, 7 1, 8 1 and 9 1. Now we can check the total. 2 plus 1 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this should be my total number of students. Fine. This we don't have to write, for just checking. So this is called ungrouped frequency distribution, that we have shown it in the form of table. We have shown it with the help of frequency, but it is not in the grouping form. We have not made any groups here. That will be clear when we will discuss grouped data. Fine. This is clear. Now let us take the example of grouped data. Again let us take the marks of 10 students. Now I am considering the marks out of 20 so that I can show you the grouping. Fine. Out of 20, suppose somebody got 7, 12, 11, 15, 19, 20, 5, 3, then we have suppose 13 and let's say 10. 3, 3, 6 and 4, 10. Now how we can make the grouped data, grouped frequency distribution? We have to make the groups. Fine. That how we will make. See the table here. These groups are called as classes. We write class, then telemarks and frequency. Fine. Now class we want to show. Class means I want to make the groups. So I am dividing these 20 marks in the groups of 4. Like I am saying the children who have got the marks between 0 to 5, then 5 to 10, then 10 to 15 and 15 to 20. Fine. Now how we will mention? First of all 7. Now 7 will come here between 5 to 10. So we will mark the tally here. These are called as classes. These are called as lower and upper limits. This is called lower limit. This is called upper limit. Fine. So 7 will come here. 12. 12 will take here. These we have taken. Then 11. 11 again in this group. Now 15. See, now 15 is here as well as here. Fine. So before discussing, before moving further in this question, let me tell you two things. That in group frequency, when we represent the data, we have the two forms, that is exclusive and inclusive. This is called the continuous form. This is discontinuous. This I am discussing for grouped data. Fine. Now you can see what is the meaning of exclusive? Generally we use exclusive form only. Fine. What is the meaning of this? When we have, like here now 15 was there. Fine. So exclusive means I have to exclude it from upper class. Means if I want to take 15 in these classes, I will not take 15 in this class, I will take it in this class. Is it clear? Exclusive form says this, that upper limit will not be taken. That means upper limit is excluded. It will be included in the next one where it is the lower limit. And inclusive form says that take both the values. Then in that case it will not be 0 to 5 and 5 to 10. It will become like 0 to 5, then here it will be 6 to 10. This is called as inclusive form. And it is discontinuous because here it is 5, here it is 6. Now if I get a value 5.5, where I will keep it? Not here even, not here even. So we firstly convert the discontinuous form in continuous. That we'll be discussing in the next part. Fine. So this is continuous form. And in continuous form, upper limit is always excluded. Fine. So coming to this now, 15 I will take in this class, 19 again in this class, 20. Now see, 20. You must be thinking now, I said that 20 should not be taken in this class, then where this 20 will go? This 20 we will take in this class only, because here we are talking about the marks. Now marks, maximum marks can be 20 only. It cannot go to 21. Fine, out of 20 no one can get 21 marks. So in that case we take, if this is the last value, then we will take in that class only. We will not create a new class. Fine. So 20 will also be considered here. Then 5. Now 5 should be in this class. Then 3 will be in this class. 13 will be here. And 10 will be in this class. Fine. So now frequency 1, 2, 4 and 3. So now total I can check 3 plus 4, 7 and 3, 10. So this was the data for 10 students. Fine. So the different types of presentation is clear. First was ascending or descending order. Second was ungrouped frequency distribution table. And third was grouped frequency distribution table. Fine. I hope these are clear to you. See, now whenever you get a question that convert this data in the ungrouped frequency distribution or grouped frequency distribution, in case of grouped frequency distribution, you have to always convert it in the exclusive form. That means continuous form, until and unless it is mentioned in the question. Fine. If it is specially mentioned in the question that convert it in the inclusive form, then you do. Otherwise, always you have to represent in exclusive form. Fine. That is continuous form. Now the question arises that if already, like here, the data is already given in the discontinuous form and we want to convert it in the continuous form, what is the way of this? Now listen here. First of all, we'll check the table, that is it continuous or discontinuous. What is the way? Check the upper limit of first and lower limit of second. Are they same? No. That means this is discontinuous. Fine. Now for making it continuous, what we do? We find out the difference between the two. Now difference is 1. 36 minus 35, 1. And then we divide that difference by 2. Suppose I calculated the difference as 1. Then I divided it by 2. That is 0.5. Now what we do? This value we will be arranging, adjusting in this. Fine. How we have to adjust? Now what we'll do, we subtract that value from the lower limits and we add in upper limits. Fine. Subtract in lower limit and add in upper limit. Now see how this table will be converted. I am just writing the limits. This will become subtract 0.5. This will become 30.5. This will become 35.5. Here subtracted, here added. Again here subtracted 35.5 and 40.5. Now you can see this is same. So that means it is getting converted into continuous form. Similarly, you can see the next. Subtract 40.5, add 45.5. Again subtract and add here. And it will have no effect on the frequency. This will come same like 10, 6, 12 and so on. Fine. So this is the way how we can convert the discontinuous form into continuous form, because in the coming questions we will be always needing the data in the form of continuous.